for Believe tonight.
Of course, when you win games, it brings confidence, it brings positivity amongst the fans, amongst the group, amongst the players. So it's important to win, important to play well and to win as many games as possible. So it brings, like I said before, massive positivity, and we just need to keep going in this way and hopefully more wins going forward.
Armando, well done. Go and enjoy the celebrations with your team.
Guys, thank you.
Well, he is, and rightly so, and obviously you can relate to that. All the time he will have been rehabbing and on the bike and in the pool and seeing other players train, dreaming of that moment today. Although it was a stroke of luck and a mistake, as we're going to see from Tim Ream, that feeling for him after all the work he's...
Yeah, it's absolutely the worst thing about football, Steve, is injuries and seeing all your mates going that way, out onto the training pitch, and you've just got to go into the gym again, train on your own. The pain of it, it's hard work as well. It's not just, that you can't run around. You've got to do real hard graft to try to get back to her fitness. So it all comes out as well. Then you score a goal or whatever in your second game back, and it's just all that emotion just comes out. And I'm so pleased for the lad. I actually think he's got a really big future as well. He's got everything you need to be a good centre forward. The size of him, the strength, the presence. I've seen flashes of real top quality out of him. So it'll be interesting to see if he can develop his game in the years to come. And what a place to be. I mean, the opportunity there to be a centre-forward at Chelsea at the moment, he can grab that with both hands. He could make a name for himself.
Yeah, I think he's been brilliant. When I saw him at Southampton, I thought, well, who's this fella? Yeah. Then I found out he was on loan from Chelsea, and you think, wow, they've got a player on their hands here. When he goes back to Chelsea, he could go straight into the first team. And the injuries really knocked him back so far. But you know what? He's young. He can recover from that, which he has done. And looking back in reflection, sometimes it makes the sweeter moments even sweeter. For his future now, he'll look and he'll learn from this, and he'll think, that frustration that Michael just spoke about, being out of the team, wanting to just score goals for Chelsea, become the number 9 for Chelsea. Now, if that happens in the future, it'll probably be better for what he's gone through. You don't want to go through it. You want to be playing every single game. But when you're a youngster and you go through this, I think it makes you hungrier. I think it makes you really a burning ambition and desire, and looking back saying, don't take things for granted. As a youngsters, if they're talented, earning a lot of money, you can take a lot of things for granted in this game. And in the end, you don't hit the heights that they can make. So I think this is a real good learning curve for him. Something he didn't want to go through, but now he's come out the back of it. He's got an opportunity now to really grow as a person, as a player. And I think, as Michael says, he's got the talent. He's got everything about him. It's a fantastic frame for a centre-forward. He's got pace. You can play a ball into him. And as a midfield player, you can make runs off your midfield to get on the back of midfield because he holds the ball up. Some centre-forwards you can't do that with. You're unsure about supporting the play. This kid's got a little bit of everything.
He got a nice helping hand from the Fulham captain tonight, though, didn't he?
Yeah. Oh, God, and don't get me wrong, it wasn't his best performance ever, but he'll just be so relieved that he's off and running, he's on the score sheet, he's back from injury. But a load of credit from his point of view will go to Tim Ream. I mean, I don't know what he's trying to do here. Well, I know he's trying to do, but it seems such a straightforward pass. He's got all the space in the world, and he just miskicks it, Glenn.
I just felt he caught the ball in between his feet. It was in the centre of his feet. He's predominantly left-footed, and to get that, you have to bend it with the outside of your foot, or you take it inside and play it with your right foot.
What about the tackle from Ream as well here?
Yeah.
Right foot?
Right foot. Slide in and make your tackle with your right foot. It's a lovely little ball from Palmer there. For me, you go down, look, it's gone on the near, go down and cover the area in front of the
You almost smother it, don't you?
You smother it and you take the ball away, and you gain an extra yard by going with your right foot to sweep the ball away rather than going with your front foot. And that's and obviously Broja has ended up he's been visualising that on one of them bikes or in the weight room or whatever through his rehab. He's been visualising the moment when that ball goes over the line and you just see him run off to the corner flag. Fantastic for the kid.
Now, another person who's been visualising the ball hitting the back of the net, Mykhailo Mudryk, the young Ukrainian. He could cost up to £88.5 million. 23 times he's played and hasn't scored. Yeah. What will this do for him, Glenn?
Well, it's given him the boost of confidence. He makes a nice little run, and he's probably thinking, as the defender's thinking as well, I'm not sure he'll find me, Colwell, but he hits an unbelievable pass. And I think Diop gets caught here in the sense of that. He doesn't believe for 1 second. He might have seen just a little blindside run from Mudryk, which he makes, but he's thinking in his mind, he ain't getting that in there, is he? Oh, my word, he has, and he finishes it absolutely superbly. He takes the pace out with his hip, actually. It's almost on his hip, but he cushions the ball down and then he just smothers the ball. Get over the top of the ball, Michael. Huh?
Yeah, and if the first goal was full of mistakes from Fulham, then that goal, I'm struggling to see where they could have improved. I mean, Diop doesn't make much of an error. It has to be absolutely pinpoint accuracy, and I thought it was a great first touch. Or he took it in his stride with his chest, and then goalkeeper comes out, and he absolutely means to do that. Go through, go under, through the legs of the goalkeeper. So a brilliant goal from Chelsea's point of view.
Technically, the reason I think it's even better pass than people might think is the ball. He's running at pace, and the ball's travelling away from you. If you're standing still and you can purvey it from a still ball, that's one thing. He's travelling at pace, Colwell. He's actually being closed down, and he's had a little glance. And boom, he's played it to perfection. That's not an easy skill, to make sure you beat the defender, but you bring it down to your attacker, to your teammate. It's absolutely perfect.
It dies over Job's head, doesn't it? It's just dying in the air.
To do that when the ball's running away from you is to get some grip on the ball and bend it like he did. Absolutely fantastic. There he's had a cuddle from his manager. He must have been feeling great. We're all expecting him to come out in the second half. And he hasn't come out, so you presume...
Desperate to know whether he's injured or not.
He's got to be injured.
He doesn't look it walking out. He looks happy, doesn't he? Of course, he should look happy, but it'll be interesting to find out.
Well, we'll have to wait to speak to Maurizio Pochettino. In the meantime, we can hear from his opposite number, the losing manager. Here's Marco Silva.
Marco, obviously you'll be frustrated to lose a football game. How much was that result perhaps down to mistakes that you made this evening?
I think it's clear. It's clear for everyone. Of course, at this level and against this type of teams, we cannot make mistakes like we made. We were punished by the mistakes that we made clear. And of course, when you play a derby so intense from the first minute, and you consider 2 goals in 2 minutes, that we had all the conditions to avoid that type of situations. For me, it's clear that we were punished by mistakes that we made. First goal too soft, and of course the second goal, the way we lost the ball, even our reaction, we should react much stronger to don't let them to score that second goal. And of course in 2 minutes in one moment you are losing 2-0, of course took out a bit the confidence from ourselves. A team that was under pressure like Chelsea, of course they boost their confidence, and the football is like that. Our first half was not at a good level at all. The way we wanted to press, our first pressure didn't work really. Sometimes the 2 midfielders too high as well with Andreas and Vinicius. They explore always the spare man, the third midfielder behind ourselves, and our pressure was not strong enough. And we tried to adjust some things half time. Our second half was better, of course. We wanted to score a goal to chase the result. We had the chances to score, I believe, with that good moment from Alex Iwobi, good moment from William and Robinson on the left-hand side, chance for Alex, and that big chance from Lukic as well. We should have scored 1 goal, and of course we are going to chase the result at the end. Chelsea deserved the 3 points because they took the advantage from our mistakes.
You have been struggling to convert the chances you've been creating of late. Obviously, we know you lost Alexander Mitrovic. Are you still trying to find a new way of playing to capitalise now you have no Alexander?
No, we have to work with the players that we have. We have to work with them to keep building their confidence, to make them to grow as a football players. It's what we have. We don't need to start speaking about players that are not here no more. We have to find the solutions. I'm here to find the solutions to work with the players and to make them better and to win football matches.
You have another opportunity coming up before the international break against Sheffield United. How important is it you go into that break on a positive result?
Of course, it's important. We lost a game, a special one, the second derby this season that we lost at home. Of course, it's tough for us, it's tough for our fans as well. But at the end, they are 3 points that we lost there. And of course, we are going to train tomorrow to start to prepare the next one. We have to react from tonight. And of course, we all together, we have to stick together as always, to work together to do our best to win the next one.
Marco, thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
So Fulham have scored 5 times in just 7 games this season. Another blank tonight. Is that a worry going forward with the likes of Jimenez and Carlos Vinicius?
Yeah, I think so, because they were so, not one-dimensional, but they were had such a focal point in Mitrovic. And I think it can be quite hard now to try to change the way you're playing, and that's going to take a little bit of time. I mean, Mitrovic was a certain type that there's no point in playing him. You know, if you were going to be a counter-attacking team, for argument's sake, well, he's not quick enough to play. You've got to, when you've got to play like that, you've got to play to their strengths: size, strength, aerial power. So they used to cross a lot of balls. They used to hit him early, use him to hold the ball up, and now they've got totally the opposite. And sadly for them, in someone like Jimenez, at the moment they've got a player that's not only different, but that's lacking a lot of confidence. He hasn't scored in 30 games now as a centre forward. That's a big, big number. We know he's got it in him. To be honest, I thought he showed a bit of bravery with one of the headers he attempted in the first half as well. But you know, he had such a bad injury. It certainly knocked his confidence. And it'd be great to see him coming back, because he is a top player, but it'll take all of the coach's skills to try to prize that you know, those performances out of him.
It was the substitute Sasa Lukic who came off the bench, who had the real opportunity in that second half.
Yeah, I thought the second half subs worked really well for Fulham, and you see a nice little build-up. They're on the front foot a lot more this half. There's William with loads of space here, and I think it's Kearney gets too much space in the penalty area. This is a lovely little nutmeg pass, and Lukic makes the run right across the front, and it's a hell of a save, you know, from Sanchez. Lovely pass through the legs here. Gets too much space, as I say. Turns, passes through the legs, and you're thinking, just get that touch, half a touch, and miss it even. Probably hits it too well. But at the end of the day, Sanchez done his job and stayed strong, stayed big. That's the pass there. I thought that was brilliant. And you're just thinking, hit the back of the net, and then we'd have had a real last 20 minutes. Would have been exciting.
I felt he was a little bit safe in his finish there, almost hitting the target. And sometimes you do. Sometimes it's a hard chance, so you just think, right, any old strike, but just get it on target. Sometimes you do. But in that situation, rolling it across your body 5-6 yards out, and you've probably got, I don't know, 2 or 3 yards to hit at that near post just to strike.